Welcome to the Business English Podcast. I'm Rob, and today we're diving into something that could transform how you show up in the professional world. Small talk and networking at virtual conferences. Picture this, it's a crisp London morning, and Charlie, a sharp marketing analyst from Spain, is buzzing with excitement. He's been in London for 2 years, climbing the ranks in his company, and now he's about to join a massive virtual conference, the event in his industry. New trends to soak up, big names to hear from, and, most importantly, a chance to connect with people who could change the game for his career. Charlie logs in, coffee in hand, ready to make an impression. The keynote's inspiring, the panels are packed with insights, and then, bam, it's breakout room time. The screen splits, and he's in a group of 5 strangers. "All right, let's network," someone chirps in. Voices overlap, laughter ripples through, and Charlie, well, he freezes. His mind races. What do I say? How do I jump in? He manages a shaky, hello, but it's swallowed by the chatter. The group moves on, swapping stories and LinkedIn handles, while Charlie sits there, mute, his coffee going cold. By the time the room closes, he's kicking himself. That was my shot, and I blew it. Does this sound familiar, perhaps? Maybe you've been in Charlie's shoes, staring at a screen, heart pounding, knowing you've got value to add, but not quite sure how to get the words out. Virtual conferences are everywhere now, and they're goldmines for opportunities, if you can crack the code. But here's the catch. Those digital hallway chats, the breakout rooms, the event platform banter, the follow-ups, they're tricky, especially if English isn't your first language. How do you stand out when there's no handshake or eye contact to lean on? How do you turn a 5-minute chat into a lasting connection? That's exactly what we're unpacking today on the Business English Podcast. We're going deep into mastering small talk and networking in virtual conferences. Skills that could mean the difference between fading into the background and walking away with a network that propels you forward. Imagine this, leaving your next virtual event with a handful of new contacts, maybe even a mentor or a collaborator, all because you knew what to say and how to say it. Stick with me, because by the end of this episode, you'll have practical tools to shine in breakout rooms, spark conversations on event platforms, and nail the follow-up. And trust me, there's a trick or two coming up that Charlie wishes he'd known. Curious to see what they are? Let's find out together. Okay, we're breaking down small talk and networking at virtual conferences. Now that we've seen Charlie's struggle in that breakout room, let's talk about why mastering this skill isn't just a nice to have, it's going to be a game changer for your career. Networking isn't some fluffy buzzword, it's the backbone of professional growth. It's how you snag that next job, uncover insider tips, or get your name buzzing in the right circles. And in today's world, virtual conferences are where so much of that magic happens. Or doesn't, if you're not ready. Here's the deal. Virtual settings are no different. No firm handshake, no coffee line chit-chat, just you, a screen, and a bunch of pixelated faces. That makes it tougher. Audio cuts out, faces freeze, and half the time you're guessing if someone's even listening. But here's why nailing small talk and networking in this space is non-negotiable. First, it's your ticket to stand out. In a sea of muted mics and awkward silences, the person who can spark a real conversation, they're the one people remember. Second, it lets you tackle the quirks of virtual events, like jumping into a breakout room without sounding like a robot. And third, it builds a network that sticks, even when you're miles apart. Let's paint some pictures. Imagine you're in a breakout room, and instead of lurking in the background, you're the one to kick things off with a smooth opener. 5 minutes later, someone's saying, Hey, let's swap details. I'd love to keep this going. Or picture this. You're on the conference platform in one of those chat forums and you drop a thoughtful comment. Next thing you know, a speaker's replying and you've got a direct line to someone big in your field. And then there's the follow-up, pinging that breakout room buddy with a quick message that turns a one-off chat into a collaboration. That's what this skill unlocks. Real connections with real impact. But here's the kicker. None of that happens by accident. It takes knowing how to work the digital room. And trust me, there's a secret sauce to it. Wondering what it is? We're getting there in just a sec, so don't go anywhere. You'll want this for the next virtual conference. Okay, we're cracking the code on small talk and networking at virtual conferences. We've seen why this skill matters. Now it's time to get practical. How do you actually do it? Making connections, exiting smoothly, and following up. And here's the fun part. I'll say each phrase twice so you can shadow me and nail that pronunciation. Ready to sound like a pro? Let's go. But first, sign up for our weekly newsletter, the 3-Minute Minutes. Or if you're ready to fast-track your skills, grab the Business English Podcast Premium subscription. The links are in the show notes. Alright, let's kick off with initiating conversation. First up, hi everyone, I'm Name. What did you think of the last session? Hi everyone, I'm Name. What did you think of the last session? Use this in a breakout room when the silence hits. It's simple, friendly, and gets everyone talking. The nuance here is, what did you think? This is an open-ended question, way better than yes or no. It invites opinions and keeps the chat flowing. Next. Hello, I'm Name. Have you attended this conference before? Hello, I'm Name. Have you attended this conference before? Drop this one in a platform chat or breakout room to spark a bit of history. The word before here is key. It's a tiny hook that can lead to stories, not just facts. Now let's look at keeping the conversation going. In this case, try this one out. What brought you to this conference? What brought you to this conference? Use this when someone's warming up. It digs into their motives. The verb brought adds a storytelling vibe. Suddenly, they're not just listing reasons, they're sharing a journey. Another good one here is, I found the keynote speaker's point about subject really interesting. What are your thoughts? I found the keynote speaker's point about subject really interesting. What are your thoughts? This is a really good one after a big session. The phrase, what are your thoughts, is pure gold. It shifts the spotlight to them, and that little word, your, makes it personal. Now, let's move to making connections. I notice you mentioned sustainability. I'm also interested in that. Have you worked on any projects related to it? I noticed you mentioned sustainability. I'm also interested in that. Have you worked on any projects related to it? Use this when someone drops a topic that you really connect with. The phrase, I noticed, shows you're paying attention, a huge rapport builder, and the phrase, related to it, opens the door for specifics. And try this one too. It's great to meet someone else in marketing. How do you find working in marketing anyway? It's great to meet someone else in marketing. How do you find working in marketing anyway? This is perfect for finding that essential common ground. Swap marketing for your field. The phrase, how do you find, is a sneaky one. It's less direct than what do you think, so it feels casual but still digs deep. Now, gracefully exiting. Here is a smooth phrase for you to practice. It was really nice meeting you. I hope we can stay in touch. It was really nice meeting you. I hope we can stay in touch. Use this to wrap up without any awkwardness. The phrase I hope keeps it optimistic and of course leaves that all-important door open. And here's another one. I see someone I need to catch up with, but let's connect on LinkedIn. I see someone I need to catch up with, but let's connect on LinkedIn. This is your escape hatch, polite but purposeful. Let's connect is an action step, not just a vague goodbye. And finally, following up. When you're doing this, try the following phrase. Hi Sarah, it was great meeting you at TechFest. I enjoyed our conversation about AI. Let's keep in touch. Hi Sarah, it was great meeting you at TechFest. I enjoyed our conversation about AI. Let's keep in touch. Now you can send this one post-event via email or LinkedIn. The phrase I enjoyed adds some warmth and shows that you really valued it. And the last one here, hello Mark, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up on our discussion about sustainability. Would you be open to a quick call next week? Hello Mark, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up on our discussion about sustainability. Would you be open to a quick call next week? This is your power move, specific and forward-looking. The phrase, would you be open, is polite but nudges for a yes. And now you have your toolkit. Say these phrases with a clear, friendly vibe and of course smile, even if they can't see it. Now we're going to move on to some common traps with these phrases that can trip up professionals. Any guesses what they are? We'll unpack that next, so stick around. We're in the thick of mastering small talk and networking of virtual conferences. You've got the phrases, you're ready to shine. But hold up, even the best tools can backfire if you trip over some sneaky pitfalls. In this section, we're widening the lens to catch those common errors, grammatical slip-ups, cultural missteps, and virtual vibe killers that can derail your networking game. Plus, I've got tips to turn those stumbles into strengths. So let's dive in. First up, common errors. One big one is being too formal or stiff. Picture this. You're in a breakout room and you say, "Good day, I'm Robert and I wish to discuss professional matters." Oof, it's like you're reading from a 19th century manual. Virtual chats crave warmth, not a robot voice. Non-native speakers often lean on formal grammar they learned in school, like overusing wish or shall, but it can make you sound distant. Loosen up a bit, it's a conversation, not a contract. Next, not listening actively. You're nodding along, but your eyes are on your inbox, or worse, you interrupt with, "Yes, but I think," because you're nervous. Culturally, this can sting, especially with the British or the Americans who value turn-taking. And grammatically, if you're jumping in too fast, you might miss the tense they're using and reply all wrong, like answering "what do you do" with "I will work in marketing" instead of "I work in marketing." It's a small shift, but it screams distraction. The third trap? Overthinking or blanking out. You're so worried about perfect English that you say nothing, or you panic and blurt, I like conference, yes." That's a double whammy. Culturally, silence can read as disinterest in chatty Western settings, and grammatically, it's a mess, missing articles like the or verbs that match. And the last one here, forgetting to follow up or botching it. You meet someone great, but a week later you email, "Hello, we talk at conference. Work together?" No context, no warmth, it's like a cold call. Culturally, that's a miss. English speakers love a personal touch. And of course, grammatically, "we talk" should be We talked. Past tense really matters here. No follow-up, no payoff. Alright, let's flip it round now. Tips to get the best out of this skill. The first one here is, of course, and rather obviously I would say, is prepare ahead. Jot down 2 or 3 starters, like, what's your favourite session so far? So you're not scrambling. It actually acts like a bit of a safety net for your brain. 2. Practice active listening. If you're on video, nod. If you're off video, say, I see, or that's interesting. This really shows you're in it and it buys you time to think. 3. Be yourself. Don't fake a British accent or overdo slang. Authenticity beats polish every time. 4. Use the chat function. Too shy to speak? That is fine. Type a quick, loved that point about AI. Anyone else? It's low pressure and still gets you noticed. 5. Set networking goals. Aim for, say, 3 solid connections, not 20 shaky ones. Quality over quantity every time. And 6. Follow up promptly. Within 48 hours, send that "great meeting you" note. Make it specific, like, I loved your take on sustainability. It's the glue that makes it stick. So, incorporating these tweaks into your speech will give you the edge. But here's a curveball. There's one mistake even professionals make in virtual rooms that can really cause big challenges. We'll wrap up with that and more in just a minute. You've made it to the end of this episode of the Business English Podcast. And what a ride it has been. We kicked off with Charlie, our Spanish analyst in London, fumbling through that breakout room silence. Relatable, right? From there, we unpacked why small talk and networking at virtual conferences isn't just a nice to have, it's your career's secret weapon. You've grabbed a stack of killer phrases to start chats, keep them buzzing, make connections, and follow up like a pro. And we dodged some nasty traps, overthinking, stiff vibes, and follow-up flops, while loading up on tips to shine in those digital hallways. Think about it. Your next virtual conference could be a goldmine. Picture yourself jumping into a breakout room, dropping a smooth "what brought you here?" and walking away with a new contact who's texting you about a project by Friday. That's not luck, that's you, armed with this episode. But it's not magic either, it's just practice. So here's your final tip. Start small. Next time you're online, test just one phrase. Just one. Say it with a smile, even if they can't see it. It'll bleed through into your voice and light up the room. And here's something to chew on. What happens when you mix these skills with an in-person event? Totally different beast, right? We might just crack that one open in future episodes. For now, thanks for joining me on the Business English Podcast. If you did like this episode, share it with a colleague who's worried about their next virtual event. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Until next time, keep practicing, stay connected, and of course, keep it strictly business.